We got this eFlex Plus kit that we're going to be installing on my 2006 Lexus GX470. Let's just go through the list of everything we have here. Number 1, we have our control unit. Number 2, we have our ethanol sensor. Number 3, we have our fuel quick connectors. 4, we have our fuel hose. Number 5, we have our hose clamps. Number 6, we have our main wiring harness for 1 to 4 cylinders. Number 7, we have our extension wires for 5 to 8 cylinders. Number 8, we have our male connectors for the injectors. And number 9, we have our quick disconnect tool. Number 10, we have this bypass module. Looks like it plugs into the harness. Same connector as the ECU. It says temporary bypass module. Do not use with higher ethanol fuel blends. Okay, so with everything on this table, we should be able to convert this Lexus to run on ethanol. Tools required: eye protection, multimeter, basic tools, cutting and needle nose pliers. All right, here's my Lexus. This is what you're gonna see. 2UZ-FE. Take off this cover. Before anything, I'm just gonna take a leaf blower and blow all this dust out. Okay, so let's open up the tank, and this is gonna vent any gas. Start by locating fuel lines. That looks like a pulsation dampener, and looks like we got quick connects here. Let's take this off. Don't lose any clips or hardware. Okay, I'm gonna say this is the feed line, this is the return. Feed line is bigger, return is smaller, and this feed line goes to that pulsation dampener. So we're going to put our sensor here. You push these together and they should come right off. So I'm just trying to find good placement for this sensor. I've seen people zip tie it up against here, but I'm gonna just try to mount it flat like this. So I decided to use these connectors. So this is gonna click in. This is the feed. This is the flex fuel sensor. It's gonna come out here and go to the fuel rail. So I was trying to figure out how to mount this, as there's no mounting tabs. So I decided just to get one of these plastic clips. And what I did was sand down the side of it, just so it fits into this slot, right? And then I drilled it out to fit a 6x1. That looks like it works. That's pretty dang snug right there. Not too worried because there's electrical connectors closer to the headers than this. All right, so I think we're done with quick connects. Now we just have to start cutting fuel line. This literally is gonna be the shortest run of fuel line ever. This is some really good fuel line. Get our clamps on. Slid on no problem. That still gives us a little flex. Get our clamps on and inward. So the hose clamps are on the inside of the connector. Also super short. Admire your work. And then tighten your clamps. Hose clamps are 9-30 seconds. All the clamps are snug. This rubs up against the brake line, right? Ever so slightly. I'm just gonna try to bend this. There we go. All right, there we go. Now that we have the flex fuel sensor connected, we can go and connect the harness. It's a nice wire loom, and it has this nice sheathing with some nice shrink wrap. First things first, I know this connects to the flex fuel sensor. And don't forget, I still have this extension harness. Start taking apart or taking off fuel injectors. Literally standing on the tire. Bank one done. Don't do what I'm doing. In Crocs. Got them all off. In the process of getting them all off, I started smelling fuel from this cylinder, third one back. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Number 6. So we're gonna check continuity. We're gonna hear a beep and we're gonna figure out which ones are connected. So I'm just gonna go to the connector by the clip. Okay, all the connectors by the clip, they're all connected. So this is positive. The connector by the clip. So the one to the right. Okay, just to make sure, we're going to check this side. So the one by the connector, we have beeps. So what that means is, I guess, put the red wire on the positive side. Okay, this is us. Beep, 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 beep. And just reading, it can be connected in any order of the fuel injectors. Each of the wiring harness has a female. There are 2 pairs that need to be plugged into the same cylinder. So all the positive, it's going to have that little tab. I'm going to plug in only the red ones to ensure I don't mess this up. Okay, so a little tab. After connecting all the reds, we'll connect the ground wire, or the wire that pulses, and we'll just make sure there's no tab on that wire. This way we are ensuring that we're not reversing polarity. All right, and then we're just going to ensure these weatherproof grommets are pushed in all the way. All right, here's the extensions I need to attach. Here is a temperature sensor and a ground. I'm just going to try to run these wires as neat as possible. As you can see, we have 4 wires here to the back of the manifold here. Then we have the other 4 collecting right here and connect the module somewhere around here. We have this temperature sensor, which should go by the block and not next to the exhaust manifold. And then a ground. These plugs, I believe, are for the extension. We're just going to pull out little grommets. And from what I understand, it doesn't matter. The order does not matter. Which leaves us with the perfect spot to put it. We are essentially done here. Throw this wire underneath. We've gotten along pretty far in this process. I should make sure this thing still runs for zip tying and finalizing stuff. Hopefully this injector doesn't leak. We have whipped up this bracket that I tack welded a nut on there and I painted, and now I'm drying. So all this is some flat stock. The ECU or controller is going to bolt onto here. I'll put some double-sided tape, and then this bolts to the fender well. Didn't record it, but I started it up to check for fuel leaks. We were a-okay. All I got to do is mount this, clip all the zip ties, and should be done. All right, we're gonna line up this hole to here. Then we're gonna loosen this bracket, which I drilled this for a 6x1. I didn't drill it for an 8x1.25. We gotta drill this hole bigger. Not too sketchy. This hardware is just long enough. Dude, look at that. All right, here's another angle. I'm gonna try to clock these to be all the same, or to have the thumb release on top. So we have the control module, the 4 extensions, all 8 injector wires going over and around through the fuel rail. This one going through the fuel rail, and then our intake temp sensor zip tied to this crossover coolant pipe. And this wire to our flex fuel sensor. Our ground is directly to the battery. Just making sure I trimmed all my zip ties. I don't smell fuel. I don't see fuel. I think we're okay. Okay, let's just give it a little rev. Look at that. Just like that, we have our app. Now that we know everything runs smoothly, no leaks, no vacuum leaks, no fuel leaks, no misfires, we can put this all back together. Here it is in all its glory. So only thing is, there's those wires and the sensor. Just topped off my tank. Damn it. 91.34, 17.7 gallons at $5 and let's just say 16 cents. I'm gonna be driving 70 miles per hour with cruise control on just so I could replicate consistent driving. We're going to reset this. Just did the math. 271 miles divided by 17.7 is about 15.3 miles per gallon. Odometer says about 65 miles. GPS says about 70, 71. We're just gonna go off that to be our consistent speed. Back at the gas station, it says I've done 84 miles. One of the last tanks of gasoline I'll ever fill up. Okay, 5.8. 41.6 miles in on this system. Traction, VSC, check engine light, traction control. All this has turned on. We're cruising in the slow lane just in case. Okay, we have the app open and it looks like everything's okay. Only faults we have is low ethanol content, and I don't think that's gonna cause this. We made it home safely. 71.6. Still have the lights on. Okay, we're gonna do a health check. Survey says P0441. Wouldn't it be great if all it was a loose gas cap? I don't know. Could be a vacuum leak. Either I'm really good or really dumb. Checking vacuums, checking everything. And I remember taking this off. And if we look at this connector, it looks like it's clicked in, but nope. And I'm gonna say that's definitely evap. So I will say that's the cause of my check engine light. I just got a zip tie and zip tied it around the connector, around this part. And we're gonna drive it to work tomorrow with these check engine lights. And we're gonna see if it turns off. 106, light's still on. Look at that. It's the next morning and the light turned off. Let's fill up some gas. We have located the closest E85. Here we go, corn fuel. We'll see what the ethanol content is in the end. Okay, 2 clicks. I'm curious to see how long it takes for this app to pick up the ethanol. Okay. So still 9. That's probably whatever's in the rail. Went up to 10, 12, 13, 15. 147.8 to 9.3. Okay, that was pretty quick. We're about 40% ethanol. Cruise control going 70 miles an hour. One thing I noticed, instead of duty cycle of 9 and 10, we're about 11, 12, 25 miles. No issues. No check engine light. Day 2 of ethanol blended fuel. We've driven 65 miles and we're gonna get gas right now.
Welcome to
one more time. $15, 5 gallons. 71.9 times 1.06, 76. Divided by 5 gallons. 15.2. Okay. Final ethanol content of 48%. We're doing our cruise control at 70 miles an hour again. About 65 on the speedo, 70 on the GPS, 69 here. Stop, not gasoline. .77. 2 clicks. Start this up. 0. Let's see how fast this senses. We were at 49% ethanol. All right, so 71 is the best we're gonna get. 115 miles on E71. Still like 13-14%. You're going 70. Gas lights on. 239 miles. 71% ethanol content. 18 miles left. We're gonna fill up. One more click. Okay. 19.595. Last time I forgot to put the gas cap on, and then I got an evap code. 239.8, and we're gonna times this by the factor of 1.06. 254 miles divided by 19.6. Oh, that's terrible. 12.9. So we're probably stuck at 79. Cruise control 70. Seeing about 14, 15. We got Yesvin here. We're at Yoda Works.
Yoda Works.
Right here. Home of Eflexfuel.
Yep.
Right? That's why I got the Lexus here.
We'll do the YouTube next, so it's gonna be the whole tour of the shop.
Oh yeah. I'll come back on.
Yes.
I'll come back the other day, and you know, we'll record some stuff, give you guys a tour. Right now, a little dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks again.
Through, man.
Oh no,
you.
Thanks again. You know.
Yes, sir.
I gotta drive this flex fuel car home.
Hell yeah.
We're back getting gas after driving 85.2 miles. One more click. 7.5. 7.589. 12, which was worse than earlier. 11.9. Probably flattest piece. 14% duty cycle. Cruise control at 70 miles per hour. 128.6. Top off one more time. $128.6 times 1.06. 136.316. 10.297. 13.2. Not bad. The only variable now is we used to fill up at that tank, this pump, but someone was parked there when I got here. So I went to this one. Still at 80. 289 now. Shut this thing up. 289. One more click. 6.2. Current gas prices. 91 octane is 509. E85 is 289. All right, let's do the math. Okay, last tank was 12.19 miles per gallon. Not too bad. What do all these tests mean? Well, if I take the average of the pump gas at 91 octane, I'll get 15.795 miles per gallon. So the 20-gallon tank, I can make it 315.9 miles. And it's gonna cost me 32.15 cents to drive every mile. Versus E85, I get less miles per gallon with E85. I get 12.442 miles per gallon, which is a 21% loss. And for every 20 gallons, I can make it 248.84 miles, which is 67.06 less. The clear winner about this is it only costs 23.84 cents per mile. That's 8.31 cents less. So all these tests reflect current gas prices. Your mileage may vary, but what this is telling me is if I'm saving 8.31 cents per mile every oil change or 5,000 miles, I will save $415. That's not bad. And this is based on current prices. All right, so all in all, I love the system. It's gonna pay for itself in 2 oil changes.